Hey there, garden lovers! Welcome back to Yuna Garden, the cozy corner where creativity meets nature. If you're working with a tiny garden space and want to add charm, privacy, and sustainability all at once, you're in the right place. In today's video, we're diving into 10 innovative fence ideas made from recycled materials, perfect for small gardens. These aren't your average fences. We're talking bottle walls, pallet wood, mosaic tiles, and even bicycle wheels, all transformed into beautiful, eco-friendly garden borders. So grab your compost tea, get comfy, and let's turn your tiny garden into a green masterpiece with these sustainable design concepts. Wooden pallets are one of the most versatile materials for sustainable garden design. With their strong structure and naturally rustic charm, they can be transformed into fences that feel both functional and warm. In tiny gardens, this approach not only recycles waste but also brings in a cozy, lived-in feel that enhances the atmosphere. Whether stained, painted, or left weathered, pallet fences blend beautifully with greenery and give your space a handcrafted look. As we move further into designing with sustainability in mind, pallets are an easy starting point for beginners. They're often free or cheap to source and allow for creativity in layout, horizontal, vertical, or even staggered for planting pockets. This type of fence sets the tone for a garden that's intentional and full of character. Repurposing bottles into a garden divider is a brilliant way to add vibrant color and play with light. Whether you're using glass or durable plastic, bottles can be arranged to form translucent walls that refract sunlight and give your garden a sparkling, whimsical quality. The key is to select bottles of different hues and sizes, aligning them in patterns or gradients for artistic flair. Beyond beauty, this design solution also maximizes vertical space and supports a garden's sense of privacy without feeling enclosed. As the sun moves through the day, light filters through the bottles to create a living mosaic of color, This garden divider becomes a talking point, both sustainable and visually stunning. Old window frames, often discarded or forgotten, can find new life as elegant garden fences. Their built-in grid structure is ideal for supporting climbing plants or letting light through while still defining a boundary. When painted in soft, weathered tones, these frames bring a storybook charm to any small outdoor space. This fence style works particularly well for vintage-themed or cottage gardens. The openness of the frames keeps your garden feeling airy, while the vertical elements add visual height. Combining function and nostalgia, window frame barriers show that upcycled materials can do more than reduce waste. They can enrich your garden story. Salvaged corrugated metal offers a bold and modern look, perfect for small urban gardens that need a bit of edge. The metal's reflective quality can make tiny spaces appear brighter, while its durability means it'll stand the test of time. Arranged in clean lines, this fencing option delivers structure without overwhelming the garden. To soften the industrial feel, you can pair metal panels with wood frames or plant greenery directly in front of them. This contrast creates a contemporary garden that feels thoughtfully designed. As we transition from rustic to modern, metal fencing proves that sustainability and sleek design go hand in hand. A vertical herb wall serves both as a fence and a living pantry. Built from recycled wood or metal frames, it allows for herbs like basil, mint, or thyme to grow in pockets or planters fixed directly onto the surface. This is a brilliant solution for maximizing space while keeping your garden edible and functional. In small gardens, every inch counts. A herb wall fence adds greenery while saving ground space for other plants or seating areas. Plus, the visual texture of various herbs growing in tiers adds depth and color. Transitioning from metal to edible design, this concept turns boundaries into opportunities for abundance. Using woven branches, you can create a fence that looks as though it grew naturally with your garden. This traditional method is not only eco-friendly, but also incredibly satisfying to make. With fallen twigs or flexible branches, the weave forms a dense, rustic wall that blends seamlessly into a woodland-style garden. These fences are perfect for creating soft, organic lines in a space. They're ideal for separating zones in a tiny garden without building hard barriers. As we shift from edible to earthy, woven fencing offers a tactile and grounding element that connects us back to nature's rhythms. Old bicycle wheels can be turned into a whimsical and unexpected garden fence. Their round shapes and metal spokes catch light beautifully, and when arranged in series, they offer an open, airy design that allows plants and flowers to peek through. It's a unique way to reuse materials that might otherwise rust away in storage. This fence style works especially well in creative or artistic gardens. It brings an element of playfulness while still functioning as a boundary. From woven wood to upcycled metal, this transition shows that fences don't have to be traditional, they can be imaginative and full of personality. flattened and painted tin can become an unexpected yet stunning element of fence design. These vibrant pieces can be arranged into mosaics, hung in rows, or attached directly to wood for a mixed-media garden wall. Each can tell a story, and together, they create a joyful expression of reuse. This method turns your fence into a canvas, bold, colorful, and constantly changing. It's especially charming in family gardens or artistic spaces. Moving from industrial designs to playful ones, tin can fences add soul and storytelling to your garden while reinforcing the power of creative recycling. Wooden crates can be stacked and repurposed as the backbone of a living garden fence. This setup allows for vines, succulents, or cascading flowers to grow naturally over time, turning a rigid structure into a lush, green sculpture. It's both a visual and environmental win for small spaces. This living wall doubles as a fence and vertical planter, making it perfect for tight urban gardens where greenery is precious. As plants grow and fill in the gaps, the structure becomes softer and more alive. Moving from hard materials to living systems, this fence redefines what a garden boundary can be. Don't throw away broken tiles. Instead, use them to craft a mosaic garden fence that's both colorful and meaningful. Arranged with care, each piece becomes part of a bigger picture, forming patterns that reflect nature, emotion, or personal style. This fence becomes an artistic expression as much as a functional structure. This concept is ideal for gardeners who love DIY and want their outdoor space to feel deeply personal. It celebrates imperfection and creativity, proving that beauty can come from the unexpected. Wrapping up the journey, a mosaic fence reminds us that sustainable design is not only about reuse, it's also about joy. And there you have it, 10 creative, sustainable, and beautiful fence ideas that can completely transform your small garden space. From rustic pallets to living vine walls, each design shows that you don't need a big yard or a big budget to build something truly magical. If you found inspiration today, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to Yuna Garden, and drop a comment below telling me which idea you love the most. Or better yet, share your own recycled garden fence ideas. Until next time, happy gardening and keep growing green.